Would you please tell us your name, the name of your farm, and what you do here?
My name is Regina Wadsworth, and I'm the owner here at Our Family Farm. We have 37 acres that we bought about 4 years ago, moved out, wanted to retire and have a life for my husband and I to provide for ourselves and bring life back to the earth, basically. So we started out with blueberries. Actually, we thought that would be what we would harvest, and we planted the whole thing in blueberries, and that didn't work out. So our fallback plan was our greenhouse. So we have a greenhouse that is 30 foot by 125 foot, and we have a hydroponic setup in the greenhouse that we grow lettuce and herbs, and we sell to farmers markets and markets in New Orleans that sell to the restaurants in New Orleans. And we also are starting to sell to the local markets here in Hammond. We have several restaurants that we sell to. So that was exciting, getting that started. I actually worked for 25 years and just wanted to retire and get away from the corporate life or office life and get back to our roots and what we do here. I grew up on a farm and I always wanted to get back to that. And but I never in my life thought I would own chickens. And that was our next venture after the hydroponic lettuce was doing well. We got that up and going. I found myself saying, I think I might like a few chickens. And here we are about 500 chickens later. And we have free-range eggs or pasture-raised eggs. Very happy chickens that you probably can hear in the background. And so basically what we wanted to do was just have something that was peaceful, a peaceful place to call ours and for the family, and that's where Our Family Farm came in. Kind of makes the community feel like they're part of it as well. And we really enjoy it. It's a daily grind, but one that we love. We get up and we're at work and it's peaceful and we just absolutely love it. It's therapy.
So, what year did you start farming?
Well, that's a hard question. What year did we start farming? We bought the property and bought our plants. Let's see, it was 2010 or 11. And but it took us a while to get out here on the property. We knew what our plan was. It took us a little while to find the property. And once we did, then it slowly, we both had full-time jobs, and it took us a while to actually be able to do it because we were working our jobs, and on the weekends we would do this, and you know how that is. So about 2011 is when things started coming together.
And do you happen to remember a year or roundabout time you gave us an order to blueberries and then the greenhouse? And do you happen to remember the kind of the chronological year or roundabout that you did those? Or how far apart they were?
The blueberries was first, and we did that. We planted those out. Let's see. We bought the plants in, I believe it was 2011. We planted them in 2012, about 11 or 12, the end of 11 or 12, and tried that. We did have the greenhouse being built because it was kind of a second thing, fallback thing. We really didn't know which direction we were going to go with it. that took 2 years to actually do, because we were doing it on the weekends, building the greenhouse, and took a long time. And when I retired from my job, full-time job, I retired in November, actually the end of October, so November 1st of, let me get this right, 2014 was my retirement. That's when, and I say I work harder now physically than I ever did before in my life, and but it's very therapeutic and I love it. Once I came home full time, we were able to get the greenhouse up and in operation within a month. So the end of 2014, I had a functioning hydroponic greenhouse, and my first crop was planted.
And how long after that do you think the chickens came in? What year might you recall that being?
The chickens came along, actually I bought the chickens in November of 2014, the first set. We started out with 15 chickens, just for fun, really. And then we got 50 more, and then we got 150 more, and now we have upwards more than 500 chickens. They're not all currently laying. They're, you know, so that started, I think we collected our first eggs in April of 2015.
2014 into 15, yeah, it takes them, how long, once you start chickens, once you get them, or once they're hatched, what's their age that you can expect them to start laying?
6 months. A chicken, you can, now we didn't hatch them ourselves. We did buy them day old. And it takes about 6 months from the time that you get them, or the time that they're born, that they start laying. And that was just about right. And we have several different types of chickens, but the bulk of what we have are called, there's several different names, but Isa Browns or Golden Comets, but they're a production type of bird, but they're my girls and I love them. They are full of personality, and they lay about an egg a day. So, and they're very productive, and they provide a lot of entertainment too on top of it.
My experience with chickens is that they don't, with the lower daylight hours, they'll produce less. Are these better at producing through the winter months?
They do. These birds will produce through the winter months. Their production will go down. There are some things that you can do to kind of balance that out, which we did, and it did help. Last winter, when the daylight started shrinking, I put lights in the coops, and they were on timers, so that I would get kind of, I guess, to fool Mother Nature. And so they would come on at 6 o'clock and then go off when the sun came up, and then they would come back on about 5 o'clock and stay on till 8. So it would extend the day for the chickens, and my production stayed up pretty good.
And I noticed you have a sheep.
Yes.
Lamb. What's that about?
That is something that my husband is very passionate about, and we both love fooling with the sheep. We really were not sure which direction we were going to go. We have several different varieties. We have the first ones that we got were Barbados black belly sheep, which are a endangered species, and so we wanted to preserve the breed. And they're beautiful. A lot of people mistake them for goats because of their color, but they're beautiful, and but they're small. So we got those, and we're we're fooling with them, and my husband, he loves to research. So we also got Royal Whites, which is a cross of a Dorper and a I think it's a St. Croix, and they're very hardy sheep for this area. And all the sheep that we have are a hair sheep, they're not wool. So that makes a difference in if you're going to process them for food. The flavor is much milder. You don't get that wild taste because the wool has lanolin in it, which is what makes that flavor. So everything that we have is a hair sheep, and we do have the Barbados Black Belly, Royal Whites, we have some St. Croix, and we also have a few of the sheep that are from this area. They're called Gulf Coast, and they're a little bit harder to handle. They're more of a wild nature, but and they do a single birth. When they do have babies, they're a single birth. Everything else that we have, usually, most of the time, will give birth to twins. So we have tried to figure out which direction we're going, and now we know we are going to have a commercial flock, and we're probably going to do some of the preserving the breed as well. So, but we have to kind of focus on what it is that we're going to do.
For you, and this is where I want to kind of get into what would convey what you're doing out here to someone who would see it and say, you know, I want to contact them. So what makes the farming, the agriculture, and the venture of farming worthwhile to you? Like, what's so meaningful for you?
What is meaningful to me about farming? I think it is mostly, I love the feeling of being part of something that's growing and nurturing, that takes care of people, the community, anything like that. I like being part of nature. And the farm, we have, like I said, we have 37 acres here that is so peaceful, and we grow whatever we feel like we want to grow. We have the ability to do. It gives us the opportunity to just be relaxed, and it does help to have the relationship with the vendors and be able to sell our product to make a living. So it provides us a living, and it provides nutrition and healthy food to the community, and it helps the earth. So I think that's what it does for my husband and I. It makes us feel like we're giving back. So that's the thing that drives us. I just like the peace of this space. And so far, anybody that's visited us here feels that too. So I feel like we're doing something right.